Hello everyone. It's been a while since I've actually been on YouTube making a video, and it's been quite a rough ride for me. For the past 6 months, I've been to some places that I probably wish I'd never been. And it's with that I'm in this game. This game changed my life for the better, and I'd like to share my story with you. Um, if you do have problems with any kind of dark talking, please do not watch this video. It's not my intention to hurt you, it's just that I want to make sure everyone is comfortable that watches the content I made. So, without further ado, I'm going to get into it. Roughly around 4 years ago, I started working for a hospital. This hospital is probably one of the best things that happened in my life. Increased pay, I'm able to sustain myself fairly decently, and it was very fun to work at. However, as you know, with the current state in the world, this hit the hospital pretty hard. A lot of measures were put in place to ensure the safety of all the employees and workers. I currently work there as a housekeeper, and my main point, I'm on the front line with cleaning rooms, especially with COVID patients. We have special precautions to clean any kind of rooms with advanced technology to very much kill any kind of the virus that may be inside the room after we're done cleaning it. It's with these precautions that it's supposed to help us ensure our safety and make sure that we don't get it. Roughly around March, I want to say March 5th, I started experiencing some very bad coughing, slight chest pains, and that kind of stuff. And numerous doctor visits just blew it off as just a simple allergy, cold, or some sort of mild flu, some chest congestion, prescribed me some over-the-counter medicine, and I took that for a couple times, and nothing helped. It was at one point during the night where I couldn't breathe. I had very bad chest pain, and I just kept coughing and coughing, leaving me to not even be able to sleep at all, and it was bad. I went down to the ER, and they recommended that I see an urgent care because emergency rooms can't provide a script for COVID tests. So I went to an urgent care next day, and they suggested I do get a test. So I went back to my job's care, and they made a date for it. On 3/29, I went down to a local testing site to get my COVID test and went back home. The next 2 days, I got the most awful news I've ever had, and that I tested positive inside my job, that I got COVID-19. As soon as I got that, reality hit me pretty hard, and I quickly broke down in tears. I didn't know what to think or what would happen, and when I told my mom, everyone was gathered in the living room and told. That was the probably worst thing that happened to me. As soon as she told them, I had a few family members say they didn't want me to be in the house with them. They told me to get out. They don't want to be near me. After they said that, I didn't know what to do. I felt alone, felt isolated, didn't know what to think. Later that night, I got advised to go to the doctors or the ERs to do an MRI and an X-ray on my chest, make sure everything was fine. When they did that, they noticed there was starting to some scarring developing my left lung from COVID being there, and it's very minimum, but it's going to be there for the rest of my life and develop later on in life. Went back to my doctor's to do a virtual visit, and he suggested that I quarantine myself, so that's what I did. I live in a house full of other people, and my mom has COPD, so I did as best as I could to stay far away from her. And this is where it all began. The only place for me to go is my room. For 2 months, I was isolated in my room. The only time I left was to use the bathroom or take a shower, and even then I had to take really bad precautions. Masking, sanitization wipes, everything. After about 2 weeks into the isolation, I didn't know what to do. Games and TV can only take you so far, and I fell into a very dark depression, and I didn't know what to do. I fell into a very dark thought, and I didn't know what would happen with myself. For nearly a month and a half, I stayed in isolation to protect my family. And at one point, I did condone to some dark thoughts that I just couldn't bring myself to. It's at that moment I realized that I needed to keep pushing through, even though it was probably the worst feeling I'd ever feel in my entire life, and something I would never wish upon anybody. I wish I could, you know, never have that happen to anybody. After about a month happened, I got a call from my doctor that they wanted to try something. They wanted to try a special inhaler to help suppress the cough, and after a while, it did work. The coughing it was nearly suppressed, and I was able to, able to walk around my house finally after about a month and a half in isolation. After, my gosh, what seemed like eternity, I finally got the approval to go back to work, and it was probably the best feeling of my life. It didn't end there though. When I returned to work within almost a few days, I had coworkers notice that I wasn't myself. Something was different and something changed inside me. I wasn't the happy, energetic, and hyperactive person I was. I was slow, very self confident in myself, very isolated from my coworkers when I used to just eat downstairs with them. They came up to me asking me if everything was okay, and I said, yeah, everything was okay, but in reality, nothing was okay. I tried my best just to wave it off as nothing and just kept working. After about 2 weeks of them coming, I had coworkers come to me and ask me to come to a room with them. And I finally made the realization no, nothing was okay. When I was isolated for that long, it brought out something inside me that I had buried deep, deep down inside when I was 16, and I was condoning my sexuality. When I was 16, I did feel I was gay, and it felt great that I felt that way because I had friends that would support me. However, the town I lived in said otherwise, and we'd had people that were spit on, humiliated, ridiculed for being openly gay. And that was enough to scare me to the point where I didn't want to do that and go through that. So that feeling was just pushed down deep down inside. Being isolated for that long pretty much brought out those feelings, and all that just rushed into me, and all those emotions just hit me pretty hard. They suggested I see a therapist, but I just kept on egging it off as nothing and I'll get better soon. It didn't get better, it just got worse. So I pretty much thought I did finally see a therapist. It came to the conclusion that I needed to stop pretending to be someone I'm not and just start being the person who I want to be. During that night, I sat down with my mom and I did tell her about how I feel, what had happened, and she was okay with it. And it just made me cry when I was finished talking to her. I've known friends that have gotten pretty bad with them, have been kicked out and outcasted from the family just based on their sexual preference, and that's what I was afraid of. Throughout that whole night, I just sat there in my bed, just thinking that I'm on the first step, and it was I was on the first step, and I was very, very happy to happen. And that's when I found this game. Having COVID has made me severely scared to go back outside because I could catch it again, and if I caught it again, it'd be very bad. I had gotten a mixed reality headset, and my friend told me about this game, and I thought it was just, just a bunch of trolls. But as I played and played, it slowly got more and more a part of my life. As I was going through my situation, I met a group of people in a Discord. I met a few people, Sammy and Glasswolf, and they helped me through so much. And I can't thank them enough for what they've done. I've had these people who I don't even know, or people I haven't even met in real life, and they were able to help me so much more than anyone in real life could. To have someone over a computer know you so well, and for someone over a computer to have such compassion and caring, just proves to me that this game changes people. This game is more than just a game. This game is a social platform for people to be who they are and not be ridiculed for who they want to be or who they are in the inside. I want to thank everybody on the VR chat team for making this possible. Without this game, I would not be here today explaining my situation. I would be in someplace dark, and to be honest with you, I'd probably be dead for that time being because those dark thoughts would have just kept burying and burying themselves down until they got a hold. To the VR chat development team, I do want to say thank you for bringing this game to life. You have helped me in so many ways than I could ever imagine. I want to thank you so much for this. Nobody could ever do what you guys did and help me through out of a hole that I could never be in. I now have a loving boyfriend named Riel, and he's the best thing that ever happened to me. And he's fully supported, and I can't ask for a better person. I really can't. If you have someone out there that needs help, please encourage them to get help. Even if that means pushing them past what they're comfortable with, please push them to get help. Don't let them be in the situation I was in. There is hope. There is people out there that care. They are wanted and they are loved. And I want to make sure everyone will always, always be who they are and be free. I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Love you all.